Alright, how's it going? June 1st, right? We all know what deadline day this is, right? Anyway, I hope you are now a card carrying, I don't know if they send cards, carrying member of GOA and Firearm Policy Coalition, FPC. I hope you are. I am. So, injunction. The other last video where I said I have the things to be able to if I need to still applies. But while this is a sad day of many, almost continuously now in America, here we are, right? But the thing that got me today, right? So I shared, because everybody thinks, look, okay, I know how I want to put this, and I don't like starting over. So it's the cult of personality, right? People are still thinking that Trump's going to be a savior. Trump helped start this nightmare, right, with the bump stock bullshit and saying, hey, if a Republican president can go snatching those out, right, and executive ordering them illegal, right, then of course the Democrats can, especially somebody like Joe Biden, right? He don't give a shit. He's gonna try and grab them motherfuckers, right? Even though his kid's trying to use Bruin to get out of his gun charges in Maryland, right? So you can't make this shit up. Let me just say that. You really can't make this shit up. But, so, on the community page, this is where I am normally active more than making videos anymore here, right? I throw up a thing quoting Trump, right? On how take the guns first, go through due process later. He did say that. That's a direct quote, right? And the same with the bump stock quote. He, by executive order, by executive fiat, banned bump stocks, which, you know, look, I thought they were ridiculous toys, but that doesn't fucking matter, right? So Trump did that, right? Donald J. Trump did that shit. Because as I tried to tell you guys way back in the day, Trump is a populist. I knew Trump was going to win. The videos are still all up of me saying all these things, right? I knew Trump was going to win. I knew he was a populist. I knew by him, he's not a fucking Republican. He is a populist. And by him being a populist, he was more dangerous than a Democrat. Because people believe he's a Republican. So when he goes to grab something, more people will give him a little more leeway. And I see this today, on a day that the government grabbed the pistol brace and made every 40 million people a fucking felon, right? And I still see people thinking that Donald J. Trump would have done any fucking different. And I'm going to have to tell you, by actions, his record says no. So stop looking for a fucking savior. Okay, there is none. And every time you vote for the lesser of two evils is what's gotten us into this spot of where all there is evil. Because Donald Trump's not a nice guy. Don't ever fucking mistake him for one. Okay? As, if you go way back to 16, when he threw his fucking hat in, I watched this guy my whole life growing up in Queens, and in Manhattan, and in Brooklyn, right? Throughout the 70s and most of the 80s. Right, I bounced 88, right? Anyway, so grew up in New York City, watched him growing up, saw his highs and his lows. He's not an evil man per se, but once you get up into that level of power, yes, you are. You hope there's a good moral code in there, but you know, look, if you're all hoping he's going to be your savior for the Second Amendment, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I don't know who is, if there is one, except you, and you, and you, and and you all pitching in. And sometimes you have to give a little cash. I don't like doing that. I don't, until people prove they're worth my funds anymore, that's the only true vote we have, right? Is our presence and our money. And reason why 3 organizations have gotten my money this week is because they're actually pushing for things that I care about, right? The NRA, fuck the NRA. Fuck the NRA since, since 68, since they backed up Ronald Reagan, another Republican god who actually did not like the American people having guns. And this is all part of your history that nobody wants to fucking talk about, right? Nobody in the gun world, on GunTube, wherever, wants to talk about the horrible track record the fucking Republicans and the NRA have when it comes to fucking guns. Okay? There's a reason why, only reason why I even own a Ruger is because my wife bought it for me. I would never buy a Ruger. I will never buy a Ruger. I was always a Marlin man anyway. But, yeah. The only reason why I own a fucking Ruger, because Bill Ruger was a piece of shit. He wasn't a gun guy. He just liked making money. But he didn't want we the people to have the same ability as the police and the military. Right? And that's the real basis of what the Second Amendment is all about. Okay? Is you are the citizen soldier. And that's why you need to be armed and trained. Hence a militia. And if you think militias don't mean shit, and this is how I answer, and most of us do these days, answer all over the world, is if militias don't mean shit, then why do they change governments? In Europe, in Africa, in Asia, and they did it here, and they haven't done it here in North America in quite a while, but since, the early 1900s, when the latest Mexican Revolution. Anyway, that's all I got to say today. I see some friends I'm going to say hello to. You have a nice day.